Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
The Irish foothills of Michigan this week for race number 7 of the season. It's the QSR Chase for the Cup Season 3. Welcome in, everybody. I'm your host, Bradley Cooper. Been with you all season long, and it's no different here tonight. We've got live flag-to-flag coverage of this race. Race number 7, the point spread is continuing to grow for Alan Dobbs, 159 points, and his first victory just a week ago at Sonoma. Now, as you look across the spread of 719, this top 12 going into the chase is going to have a big split here. With I don't see any repeat winners here, so it's going to be pretty balanced once we reset for those final 5 races come November. But right now, as it sits, it's going to be a tough gamble and a tough day for anybody that wants to catch up to Alan Dobbs. He's been unstoppable since the beginning of this season, and will continue that momentum as we carry on for race number 7. Quick look at our race analysis here tonight. 85 laps and pit road speed limit 55 miles per hour. Stage at lap 25. Of course, 2 green-white checkered attempts and 100% fuel on this iRacing fixed setup. 4 tire sets available, and those will be key here tonight. You'll have to use pretty much all of them. And hopefully, if we get a long green flag run, we'll get to see what that 100% fuel can carry these drivers to. It'll be somewhere around that 35 to 40 lap mark that they'll be coming down pit road in the Gen 4 NASCAR. And a look at Michigan International Speedway opened October 13th, 1968. First inaugural race in 1969. Here tonight, we're at the Legacy version, so a little bit bumpier and but much more abrasive surface is going to wear these tires out here today. But with that information, let's take you trackside now and get that grid up on your screen. Starting on the pole here today with a 38.613, it's 631. It's Chuck Sweeting in the number 75. Galen Wunsch will start to his outside in row number 1, and then row number 2 goes to Alan Dobbs and Trenton Wilkin in the number 12. Wyatt Walker and Daniel Moldex will be row number 3, with Ronnie Joyner and Quentin Stewart just behind them. And rounding out your top 10, it's Ryan Philbrick and Shane Ferguson in the number 21. Christian Ruck-Regal and Larry Eddy will start 11th and 12th. 13th position goes to Austin Thomas, Brent Allen in 14th. Tyler Autry and Gerald Sensenbaugh in 15th, 16th position. And then row number 9 goes to Brandon Yates and Derek McMurtry. Four cars left to talk about. Ethan Wisnowski and Mike Petrin electing not to take a time here today. Bryson Witherspoon and Stephen McGough will round out your field here today from Michigan. Now here we go for 85 laps. Pace car has pulled off. And for race number 7, we're live and underway. QSR Chase for the Cup on Thursday night. Leading lap number 1, it's Chuck Sweeting in the number 75. He gets by. Alan Dobbs is just behind him here, though, up one position. He got around Galen Wunsch. He's working his way through this field rather quickly. Trying to challenge for Chuck Sweeting. Dobbs, of course, the points leader, as we mentioned in the beginning of this race. And picking up right where he left off at Sonoma. Going to challenge for the lead. Hard to believe that he was winless all the way up to week 6 before he got it done with all the consistency in the top 10s, the top 5s. A guy with probably a turnaround here. Chuck Sweeting has worked his way into the top 5 in points and now looking to put it all together. I've seen a lot of bad luck here with the 75 all season long, not just here at QSR, but across the board. I know this driver is fast. He has more than enough potential to win these races, but always seems to find himself caught up in something one way or another. Chuck Sweeting will lead lap number 2. He'll come around. Looks like he's going to hold him off for lap number 3. Coming back off the end of the 75. A little bit of dirty air. Make it rather difficult for Alan Dobbs to find his way around. Carrying on back through this field, not a lot of positions gained or lost in the top 10, but you go back here to Bryson Witherspoon. He's the biggest gainer in 14th now, started in 21st. He continues to pick up the positions in this number 20. Riding on board now with Bryson Witherspoon. You can see the spread from 13th position onto the lead. And it's a couple tenths here or there, and then quite a few tenths from 11th position up to 10th. About half a second. So a lot of ground to be made up here. Dobbs kind of falls back a little bit here. On board with the number 22. There's a look at the live action shot with Alan Dobbs trying to chase down and one-handing it down the front stretch. Trying to get a little bit of nicotine to relax those nerves. I know how difficult it is to race Michigan and constantly be in the draft, the wake of a driver in front of you. It's a little frustrating too. Galen Wunsch is still hanging right behind him. So any mistake that he makes, he's going to lose ground to that leader and open up the door for Galen Wunsch. 199 has been right there, ready to pounce. It's only down one spot here as we go back to Galen Wunsch in the 199. Last time by, identical lap times for the top 3, all running a 39.3. Leading just a little bit faster than all of them, but I'm talking about 2 or 3 100ths of a second separate these 3 as they continue to pull away from the 85 of Wyatt Walker. 85 just a little off the pace, about a tenth off, but kind of on his own island right now. Could be saving the tires a little bit for that long run strategy. He's gained one spot, as has Daniel Molnex just behind him. Molnex leading that pack of 4 cars. Rick Wilkin in this group, Ryan Philbrick, Ronnie Joyner. Laps about to be complete here from Michigan. And Alan Dobbs, Galen Wunsch, the top 3 remain. Christian Regal at the outside of the top 10. He's trying to chase down Austin Thomas. As we look at this position battle from 9th back to 11th. Quentin Stewart in 9th spot, down 1 from where he began the race. We're looking at 2.5 seconds here for the 24 to catch up to Ryan Philbrick. On board with the 06. So sometimes the cars thunder by so fast that they knock our cameras out of alignment. To get that thing readjusted there. The car loose back here. That's Ethan Wisnowski in the number 5. Lost control here down the backstretch just out of the exit of turn 2. And we got a car stuck in the wall. That's Bryson Witherspoon. Be damage on the right side of that machine, and it looks like he'll probably be done for the day. Remember, Witherspoon had kind of ripped his way through all the way from 21st up to the top 15. He was running about the 13th position when this problem happened. We'll go back on the replay. And he has some leaders catching up to him. Back on the V-Speed Instant Replay and see if we can find what happened to the 20 car. He's outside of Ethan Wisnowski when he got loose out of turn 2. All board here with the 20 car to try to figure out what happened. Here on lap 12, into the wall, just over-sent it into the corner. And got loose, snapped it back to the right, and that finished it off. Now trailing down pit road, this long, lonesome road of 55 miles per hour, trying to find his stall back here. We're going to have a lot of repairs. While we talked about all that, Chuck Sweeting has pulled out his lead over half a second, 3/4 of a second. He approaches. That's halfway through the stage now. A lot of racing left to be done, but for Chuck Sweeting, this is a picturesque day. He usually starts up here and has issues. You can see some smoke here out of the exit of 4. I believe that was smoke from Bryson Witherspoon. Also having some issues here today, Tyler Autry, which is just elected to leave the race. Let's see if we can check back into what happened to Tyler Autry. Autry was running just ahead of Brandon Yates here. And just another issue of oversending it into the corner. Gets really loose, clips the 15 of Yates, who makes a phenomenal save. That's going to do it there for the 2 car. Lead out to a full second now, 15 laps into the run. Galen Wunsch still holds strong. Right on the back bumper of Alan Dobbs. This is the closest battle on the racetrack right now. Just about a tenth of a second separate these two drivers for second and third. We have to go all the way back here. The 13th position with Larry Eddy. We want to find a closer race here between the 21 and the 13 as they go back and forth. Ferguson down 2 spots, Larry Eddy down 1. Behind them they have Derek McMurtry in the 48 car, and he's chasing them down about a tenth a lap here. Wisnowski also electing to take an early vacation, an early exit from this race. It's been challenging. Here comes a battle for second, heating back up. Almost a pass out of turn 4 off the back of Dobbs. Galen Wunsch looking for the spot here for second position. A peek to the inside into 1 and 2. Off the exit of the corner, a little wiggle. Looks like he keeps the momentum down the backstretch, keeps the nose to the inside. Gonna try it again here as he sends it into the corner. Side drag race down the front stretch. Wunsch had the position there briefly. He'll send it back into turns 1 and 2. Easy onto the throttle here. Wunsch gets a decent enough run here into the backstretch. It looks like he'll complete this pass into 3. Dobbs continuing to hold on here. Quite clear just yet. He will clear now. And pass completed there for Galen Wunsch. Took him about 2 laps to get around the 22. That's the first pass that we've seen pretty much since lap 4. We had a few drivers in and out. Here's some more passing going on as Trent Wilkin gets around Wyatt Walker. Walker was up in the 4th position. He's fallen back to 7th now. Gonna look back on the inside of the 12. So for Wyatt Walker, just trying to maintain a top 5 has been a challenge. Gets really loose off the exit of turn 2. Is able to hold on to it, but loses another spot in the process. And now Ryan Philbrick gets around Walker back to 8. Back up towards the front. 1.6 seconds now separating Chuck Sweeting from the rest of this field. He'll come by to lead his 21st lap of this event. Looking like Chuck Sweeting is probably going to lock up this stage here. He continues to pull away from Galen Wunsch in the 199. It looks like nobody has anything for the 75. He's maintained clean air since the start of this race. Just continues to put on a clinic thus far. As we have 2 laps to go here for Chuck Sweeting. Here for the 11th position, Austin Thomas and Shane Ferguson were going back and forth. Looks like Thomas picked up a little bit of damage there at some point. Trying to get a zoomed in angle here on the Mac tonight, 35. Flag in the air here for Chuck Sweeting. One more time around to claim stage number 1. Out of turns 3 and 4, Chuck Sweeting is going to get the stage. Continue around here to the completion of lap 25. As some of these drivers are just now crossing that start-finish line. Looks like that stage is going to end right here at the end of this lap, so a little prematurely on that stage winner, but nonetheless, Chuck Sweeting is going to get it. This should bring everybody down pit road with 4 fresh tires. Top 10 on the left-hand side. Those are drivers that are going to score points for this stage. All the way back from Sweeting to Wunsch, Alan Dobbs, Daniel Molnex, Ronnie Joyner, Ryan Philbrick, Trenton Wilkin, Wyatt Walker, Quentin Stewart, and Christian Ruck-Riegel for that top 10. A long and clean run, leading all the way up to this stage caution. Few issues for a couple drivers as Larry Eddy, Ethan Wisnowski, and Tyler Autry have exited the session. Bryson Witherspoon has been on pit road for about 8.5 minutes. He is back out on the racetrack now. But here we go for the first round of pit stops. 4 fresh tires, definitely going to be key as they'll use one of those sets available. A few drivers missed their stall here. Brandon Yates and actually Shane Ferguson and Christian Ruck-Riegel had missed their stall. Down and away here, it looks like a 3-wide battle for the exit of pit road. Shane Ferguson stayed out, but it's Chuck Sweeting going to win the battle off pit road. Alan Dobbs, Daniel Molnex. Get back on that instant replay here. I'll show you this battle out of the pits. Right here to the line, it looks like Dobbs just barely wins that exit off of pit road. For Christian Ruck-Riegel and Shane Ferguson, they passed through the pits to get a lap led, but it looks like they're going to come in and finish off that service. Chuck Sweeting will resume the lead. Quick commercial break here on V-Speed. You're watching the QSR Simulations Chase for the Cup, Season number 3. More coverage of the second stage right after this.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
I just got 3 things to say. God bless our troops. God bless America. And gentlemen, start your engine!
Back here live from Michigan. Green flag is back out. We're underway for the second stage of this race on lap 29. On board here with Brent Allen as he moves through, getting 3-4 positions on this restart, making quick work towards the top 10. Brent Allen up to 10th in just 1 lap. And he'll continue on this momentum as he tears through. What a move there for the 13. Got some side-by-side just back here. The 5th position, Trent Wilkin blinking out there briefly. A little bit of connection issues there for the 12. Ronnie Joyner just behind him. It's Daniel Molnex and Alan Dobbs going side by side. Molnex on the outside here for the 3rd spot. Unable to complete the pass, he'll dive to the outside, take the high line, and will complete it here through 1 and 2. And the wide arch, always effective at the Legacy Michigan Raceway. Carries on out of turn 4. Chuck Sweeting leads another lap, pulls out half a second now. As Dobbs continues to fall off. Back to Trent Wilkin now. So the laps continue to tick away. Sweeting half a second ahead. Galen Wunsch, Daniel Molnex, Trenton Wilkin, and Alan Dobbs, the top 5. Dobbs has been passed by the 12 now. Don't panic yet if you're an Alan Dobbs fan, but based off of the run that I'm seeing right now, the 22 not as strong as he has been in the previous weeks. And looking a little worrisome. This could be the night that drivers make up some points on the 22 with how consistent he's been all season long. Tonight, a little off the pace, a little out of character. Lee Joyner now looking to the inside, trying to crack the top 5, and the race is 0-0. He will clear through 1 and 2. Dobbs lets another one by. And now, if you are a 22 car fan, I would be worried a little bit. He's losing a ton of ground. It's over 2.5 seconds from 6th place up to the lead. And if you're a Chuck Sweeting fan, this is a perfect day. Aboard with Ryan Philbrick here. Saw him come out of turn 2 all over the back bumper of Alan Dobbs. His driver's starting to sense some weakness for the 22. Just behind that, in his 8th position. His top 10 a lot tighter than it was to start out this race. Galen Wunsch all the way back to Quentin Stewart. We're talking about less than a second and a half, and earlier it had stretched out to well over 8 seconds for some of these drivers that were in the top 10 before the end of that stage. And that, you know, it's quite the gap there. If you want to talk about distance, this track takes an entire 39 seconds to get around. So seeing, based off of times, 8 seconds, it's almost an entire corner here. You can see down this front straightaway, Quentin Stewart just now crossing the start-finish line as Chuck Sweeting goes into turn 1, and it's 3.5 seconds. So imagine, at 8 seconds, you probably can barely see the leader when you enter the backstretch. Aboard here with the 24. QSR CEO. The Superman costume. Yeah, it's the t-shirt. You almost got me. Continuing to run strong here. I know Sonoma got away from him. Wasn't happy with the outcome of that race. I believe it was somewhere less than 10 to go when trouble struck Quentin Stewart. He was looking at a top 5 day. Had problems with the lap car. Here today, it looks like a top 10 day. As Stewart continues to drive on lap 39. Keep you posted on where he ends up. Daniel Waldeck's now taking offense to his fellow Venom Motorsports teammate of Galen Wunsch. Second and third spot right on top of each other. Just behind them, another Venom Motorsports driver playing some offense. As Ronnie Joyner looks to the inside of Trenton Wilkin. Wilkin blinking out there briefly. Connection issues here for the 12 thus far. Side by side here with Molnex. He'll get around Wunsch. There's Ronnie Joyner. He'll get around the 12 of Wilkin. So for the first time today, Molnex has got up into the second position. I'm curious to see if anybody has anything for Chuck Sweeting. nobody's really proven that just yet. And I said I was worried about what Alan Dobbs was doing earlier, but now it looks like he was in tire save mode. Dobbs gets back around the 0-0 of Ronnie Joyner. Works his way back up to fourth spot. Joyner going to go back to the inside into turn one. Side by side again here. The big send from the 22. He's going to hang it up there on the high line. And that is the preferred line here for the exit down the backstretch. He will clear again. And Joyner falls back to fifth. Side by side with Philbrick and Trenton Wilkett. Philbrick has gained 3 spots now since the beginning of this race. Behind that, we have McMurtry catching up to the 24 of Quentin Stewart. So passing starting a little bit earlier here as compared to the last time. Took him about 20 laps or so, and this time around we went back green about lap 29, I believe. It's only taken 14 laps to get it going. Track is rubbered up. Conditions up on the top of your screen, 78-degree track temperature, so relatively cool for a Michigan summer day. It's seasonably cool temperatures. After the pass with Molnex getting around Wunsch, the lead has went dormant at around exactly a second. You can see down this backstretch, Molnex is pulling away from Wunsch, but hasn't really gained anything on Sweeting. Occasionally goes and dips below a second, but you'll see Sweeting here out of the exit pull that time back a little bit, especially down this front straightaway. Sweeting could afford to give up half a tenth here or there before green flag pit stops, but what he can't afford is to get racing with Daniel Molnex. It looks like through 1 and 2, the 75 a little bit stronger as he'll pull out back to a full second down this back straightaway. But through 3 and 4, Molnex just a little bit quicker. Last time by, overall, 0.03 of a second on that lap time. So for Sweeting and Molnex, there's not a lot to gain here. If you're the 38, you're trying to just chip away lap after lap. Quentin Stewart got passed by Derek McMurtry, who's worked his way up to the 8th spot now. 10 positions gained. Started back in 18th, electing not to take a time here today. The 48 car. Surprised that he didn't try qualifying, maybe missed the qualifying altogether. A nightmare before Christmas, 48. Tipping away towards this top 5. 5.8 seconds back from the lead. 1.5 to catch up to Trenton Wilkett, who's going back on offense against Ryan Philbrick. Few of the drivers that are outside the top 10, Steve Legault in the 83. Big gains for him. He's up 9 positions. Solid day for him. He'd like to get up into the top 10, I'm sure. But overall, a pretty stellar day for the 83 team. And another driver that's on the move just ahead of him, Brent Allen in the number 13. Although he has about 3 seconds to catch up to Wyatt Walker. A pretty tall order to catch up to the 85. The 85 a little off the pace here at the tail end of the top 10 now. Started this race in 5th. He was as high as 4th at one point. But since this restart has continued to fall through this top 10. He's now on an island as he was in that first run. Hopefully he can turn this around, maybe get a little bit better on and off pit road and make up some of that ground back as we approach lap number 50 with Chuck Sweeting through 1 and 2. This will bring us at 36 laps to go when he crosses the stripe. Galen Wunsch back on offense here with his teammate. Walnick's a little tight there out of 4. He'll let the 199 by. Goes back to the inside, but looks like the 38 has conceded this position to his teammate here on lap number 50. Chuck Sweeting, dominant day so far. 49 laps led, coming around to lead lap number 50. We've been caution-free outside of just the stage break. We're going to take a quick commercial break, though, here on V-Speed. You're watching the QSR Simulations Chase for the Cup. Our coverage continues right after this.
I just got 3 things to say. God bless our troops. God bless America. And gentlemen, start your engine!
Here live from Michigan Raceway. While we took that break, Quentin Stewart had gotten back around the 48 of McMurtry. You can see them side by side as this battle continues. And sideways here for the 24. What a save there off the corner. They were racing hard and all smiles here for Quentin Stewart. They have went back and forth for quite a few laps prior to that. Let's get a look back on that on our instant replay. Here's Stewart. Maybe a little mistake here from McMurtry that put him in the scenario to get by him. But then, you know, gets the pass completed. Wasn't too long after that, McMurtry's going to go back to the inside. As we'll go back to that margin as well. Into 3 and 4 here just a lap later. Stewart sends it a little bit too deep into the corner. Gets the 48 back on the inside, and then we watched side by side here for about 2 laps before you saw that mistake there as we came back from the break. Stewart just off of the corner, sideways. Right on board with him right here. This is actually pretty smooth here. Maybe the next time by. Meanwhile, Meanwhile, Daniel Molnex has been passed. They're going back and forth. We'll go back to a live shot here. Molnex and Dobbs going back and forth for the third spot. Molnex, remember, had gotten by once and was up to second, but is now kind of fallen off a little bit. Very tight out of turn 2. Dobbs is going to work his way back to third. Chuck Sweeting almost in his own time zone here as he'll continue to lead. We weren't fully back to a live shot there. I'd like to apologize for that, but we haven't missed much. Back and forth continues between the 22 and the 38. Alan Dobbs, Daniel Molnex cannot decide who wants to be in this third spot. While these two try to decide that, the 00 of Ronnie Joyner slowly creeps up to this battle. Lap after lap. The last time by, he was 0.3 faster. Get a good look at this paint scheme on the 00. Just beautiful paint. I don't know who made it. I don't know if Ronnie made it. But whoa, the 38 loose off a 2. And his teammate's gonna get by. Little wiggle there, steps out on the right rear. And now down pit road for the 38 team. A few other takers down pit road as well. Eric McMurtry, Wyatt Walker. Green flag pit stops. We have been clean and green all race long thus far. Without that stage caution, this race has continued to go green. Down and away here for the 38 of Molnex. 4 tires and a full tank of Sunoco race fuel to put him back out on the racetrack. Alan Dobbs down pit road. The 00 of Ronnie Joyner with just 26 laps to go. Chuck Sweeting continues to stay out. Galen Wunsch letting the 12 of Trenton Wilkin go by. Wilkin had pit about 2 laps ago. He's going to look like a rocket ship going by. Here comes Sweeting down pit road. Galen Wunsch to follow. This hands the lead over to Brent Allen for his first attempt at a lap lead. He stretched it out far enough. He has Steve McGough behind him here. Will the 83 stay out an additional lap? Allen last time down pit road, electing just fuel only. That was 33 laps ago. 83 is Steve McGough actually overtakes the 13 as he sends it down pit road. So this is going to be rather close. I think McGough is going to get the lap lead. Unfortunately, his pit stall is before. He does get it just barely. And it looks like Brent Allen has ran out of fuel. Allen entirely out of fuel trying to coast to his pit stall. He has to be perfect here on this stop. He gets it just there. that's unfortunate. He's going to lose a ton of ground. And now Trent Wilkin, who kind of short pitted this whole group, is leading this race. How about that for Wilkin? He's going to lead his first laps of the day. Just about 20 to go. Looks like the 12 is going to be your leader. To finish this thing out, where is Chuck Sweeting? He almost led all of them. Sweeting's going to have about 3-lap advantage on tires versus the drivers in front of him. Alan Dobbs the closest on this stint here. I don't know if I said I was worried earlier in this race. I might have hinted at that. Now carefree. It looks like Dobbs all over the back bumper of your leader. To the outside, a little block here from Wilkin. Now a new leader in the closing laps, 21 to go. Alan Dobbs is going to take it over. Chuck Sweeting just now catching up to Daniel Molnex, all over the back bumper of him. Look to the inside now for the 75. Caution is out. Brandon Yates is around, out of turn 2. This right across the nose of Quentin Stewart. Frustrations continue for Quentin Stewart. Having another solid day here in Michigan. '55 just gets up there and the marbles comes down on the 24. Stewart picks up a little bit of left front damage from that. He'll bring it down pit road. I'm certain of it this time by, as will everyone else. But this shakes up the strategy. This is going to put everyone back on even tires. And for Alan Dobbs and Chuck Sweeting, the strategy completely thrown out the window here. Will we see another battle off of the pit exit? Left sides go up. Looks like Chuck Sweeting right sides only. He's going to take that lead back. Quentin Stewart also. Looks like the 24 right sides only. So 2 drivers making the call here for right side tires. Galen Wunsch, who is on a 6-lap stint, electing to stay out. As we'll have about 16, 17 laps to go when we go back green flag racing. Another quick break here. QSR Simulations chase for the cup. Here from Michigan, coverage is going to continue right after this.
just got three things to say. God bless our troops. God bless America. And gentlemen, start your engine!
Back here live from Michigan International. It looks like Galen Wunsch and Brent Allen electing to stay out this last set of caution pit stops. Chuck Sweeting, Quentin Stewart, right sides only. Green flag is out, and here we go into turn one. What can two tires, no tires, and four tires do? All the way on the bottom for the 22 car. A dominant day for the 75 of Chuck Sweeting. Looks like it's fading away. This race win slowly leaving the grasp. Car on the wall in the background there. That was Bryson Witherspoon, who had already had issues earlier today. And Galen Wunsch gets a big run out of turn four. He's going to challenge for the lead. No tires versus four. About that. With 16 laps to go, the 199 proving us wrong up here in the V-Speed booth. Contact the 22. Big wreck down the back stretch. Several cars involved. It looks like the 22 of Dobbs is done for the day. That is not the way they wanted it to go. Quentin Stewart also involved in this. The 24 all but totaled. The front end on that machine lifted up in the air. 38 of Daniel Molnex also got a piece of that action as well. Take it back on the instant replay. We saw the run out of four. It looked like Galen Wunsch had some speed in it here. Take a look at it from our blimp camera. See if the 22 came up across his nose. Look on board. On board with Galen Wunsch here. I don't know. The 22 was quite clear there. I'm trying to find the best angle here. Just at the last second, looks like the 22 slides up in front of the 199, who was right there. Just no room for error for either one of these cars. And for Alan Dobbs, I don't know what his opinion is on the situation, but I can tell you that Galen Wunsch did not intentionally get into him there. It looks like Wunsch comes down to get some of that, maybe takes 4 tires here. He didn't take any tires the last time. We got about 3 laps under green there. This kind of changes everything. And Dobbs probably a little upset here. We're going to try to pull the 22 up here into the booth. Looks like Dobbs hangs out in another Discord during the race, so we don't have the opportunity to pull him up here. 24 Quentin Stewart also on pit road, getting that damage repaired. Looks like he's pretty much done for the day. These cars gonna go a lap down. We started out with 22 cars to start the day. We're down to 17 still on the track, and probably 13 of them still running. A lot of problems for this field in the later stage of this race. Remember, we went clean and green from lap 1 all the way to the stage caution at lap 25. We ran from lap 25, got our green flag pit stops underway, went all the way to lap 68 before we had problems on the backstretch with the, I believe, 15 of Brandon Yates getting into the wall or getting loose. And since then, it's jumbled up the field. It's kind of put everyone back into different strategies. And what you just saw there in that previous caution, a big wreck down the backstretch involving several key drivers in this chase format, with the 199 of Galen Wunsch and the 22 of Dobbs having contact out of turn 2. Claims 38 gets a piece of it. 24 also involved. Just 00 of Ronnie Joyner. A lot of cars involved in this last caution as we get set to go back green. 13 laps to go here. Tough break for a lot of these guys, but I think it's a byproduct of Chuck Sweeting. He's channeled all his luck to the other drivers here today. He wants to win. Green flag is out. We're back underway at Michigan. This could be Chuck Sweeting's day. Derek McMurtry battling for the second position. These two cars were outside of the top 5, barely holding on to the top 10 prior to these moments. They have a shot at a podium. McMurtry trying to get by the 85 into turn 1. He will clear coming out of 2. Little bit loose, though. He's going to wiggle up in front, and here comes Walker back to the outside, and Wilkin to the 12. Oh, Wilkin really loose across the nose of the 199. What a save there for Trenton Wilkin. Chuck Sweeting has pulled out 0.8 of a second. Wyatt Walker, Derek McMurtry settle down here. There's 3 wide back here with Wilkin, Philbrick, and the 199 199 of Wunsch on 4 fresh tires. Tires have not been quite at a premium for only 5 or 6 laps on the stint. And Wunsch kind of proved that there when he was racing to the outside of the 22 of Dobbs. There's 3 wide here through the corner there briefly in the entry. Looks like Wilkin falls back. Wunsch, who's been in the top 3 most of the day, now just trying to get back there after coming down pit road. To the inside of the 06. Brick holds him off here. Less than 10 to go for Chuck Sweeting. Full second gap back to the 85. A tough break here for Brent Allen, who had a pretty good start to this day. Has since went a lap down, has heavy damage. Believe he was caught up there in that last caution. And so for the 13 team, it's another one of those bad luck days. The PDI, Performance Diesel Injection, 13 trying to come back. Still a chance that he could get a caution before the end of this thing and get back on the lead lap, but a lot of front end damage on this PDI Chevrolet. Doesn't look like he's going to have a chance at this unless we get a yellow. It's completed here for 4th. Wunsch really loose off of 2. Almost got the 4th position away. And the 06 is going to play a little bit of pinch there in the entry. This for the 4th spot. Wunsch going to try again. Wiggles loose. Not have the preferred line, but has a tire advantage into turn 1. Just not enough there to get the exit that he wants, and you know the 199 wants to get back into this top 3. McMurtry has found himself into traffic. The 85 of Walker, they just have to hold on for 5 more laps here to get a podium finish. Philbrick, Wunsch, Wilkin, all trying to take that away. Almost contact there down the front stretch between the 06 and the 199. Another dive to the inside. The side-by-side continues here for Bennett Motorsports driver Galen Wunsch, just trying to get by Philbrick. There was a big run here out of the exit of 2, but Philbrick not able to go anywhere. Wunsch is going to use the 48 of McMurtry as a pick here. He will clear back to the podium spots. Wyatt Walker, the next one in line here. He has a little bit of cushion of about half a second. 4 to go. That's what the gap looks like of 8/10 for Chuck Sweeting. Hershey falls back to the 6th position. So they go into 3 and 4. Three laps left. Can Galen Wunsch catch up to Wyatt Walker? Can he catch Chuck Sweeting with the tire advantage? Last time by, only 0.3 of a second faster. Almost contact with the 85. He leans on the door. Walker hangs it up on the outside, but it's not going to be enough. Walker's still trying to get his podium. 2 to go. Chuck Sweeting continues to lead, but that lead dwindles down to 7/10. Last time by, another 0.3 faster for Galen Wunsch. Based off of this math, he's going to be right at the back bumper of the 75 when they come out of turn 4. Galen Wunsch is chasing down Chuck Sweeting with 4 fresh tires. 4/10, half a second dwindles down out of turn 4 for Chuck Sweeting. One more time around off the back of the 75. Galen Wunsch could get a victory here. Chuck Sweeting as well. To be the first one of the season for both these drivers. Down the backstretch, the lead battle, 3/10 of a second. Wunsch sends it into turn 3 and all the way to the bottom. Doesn't look like it's going to be enough. Out of turn 4 for the final time. Chuck Sweeting is back in V-Speed victory lane. Chuck Sweeting is victorious at Michigan. With a dominant day, 85 laps to race here. He led 76 of them here today. After starting on the pole, Chuck Sweeting finally turns his luck around here on the broadcast in V-Speed. Congratulations to him. Congratulations to Galen Wunsch of getting back there to his second position after taking 4 tires and coming back out around the 6th spot. Ryan Philbrick and Trenton Wilkin got around Wyatt Walker there on that last lap. Congratulatory sandwich here out of the exit of turn 4. Post-race interviews with your top 3. Final results as we gather up that information. You're watching the QSR Simulations Chase for the Cup. More coverage will continue on V-Speed right after this.
I just got 3 things to say. God bless our troops. God bless America. And gentlemen, start your
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Here live from the Michigan International Speedway. QSR Simulations Chase for the Cup has concluded its 85 laps here from the Irish Hills. What a race it was. Chuck Sweeting with a dominant performance. 5 lead changes, then 3 cautions, and 2 of those coming in the last 15 laps of this race. Chuck Sweeting, after starting on the pole, will win. The top 2 didn't change hands very much at all. Galen Wunsch is going to come back and get that second position to finish this thing out. Ryan Philbrick will get a top 3. Trenton Wilkin and Wyatt Walker with an excellent day. The 85 gets back to 5th. Eric McMurtry in the 48 will get the 6th position, with Steve Mago finishing 7th. Daniel Molnitz will finish in the 8th spot, with Gerald Sensenbaugh in 9th. And rounding out your top 10 here today, it's the 38, A Quiet Day of Christian Ruck-Riegel. Tony Joyner, unfortunate for him, picks up some damage, and he was having a top 5 night. He'll finish in 11th. Brent Allen also damaged there on that last caution. He'll finish in 12th. Brandon Yates, 13th after having problems out of turn 2. He got involved with Quentin Stewart, who is down in 17th, but there is the 21 machine of Shane Ferguson, 14th position. Bryson Witherspoon into the wall a couple times today. He'll finish at 15th. Alan Dobbs, the big story here, points leader. He's not going to finish in the top 15 here today. Quinn Stewart, QSR CEO, the luck continues. He's got to be frustrated. I mean, this is week after week now that the 24 car has been having a top 10 day and gotten caught up in something. Then it's Austin Thomas, Larry Eddy, Ethan Wisnowski to round out the top 20. We go back here to 2 cars left. Tyler Autry, an early exit, and Mike Petrin electing not to grid here today in the 60 car. And with that, we bring you to your top 3 finishers. First one that we have to bring up into the booth is Ryan Philbrick in the number 06. Ryan, I tell you what, the strategy here tonight, it went all out the window. I know that it looked like maybe a top 5 day for the 06, but after that caution late, it puts you in a whole different playing field.
Yeah, definitely, which I'll take that. I would have felt good with a top 5. Like, that would have been nice. That was my thoughts at first anyways, and then that caution changed stuff up, took tires, and seemed to be decently quick, enough to pass and hold people off a little bit, and just did what I could. Ended up 3rd. I didn't know if I'd get wide at the end there, but was able to, so that worked out.
Well, we are coming down to those last final laps, and it looked like for the drivers that came back down pit road there, like you, Galen Wunsch, Trenton Wilkin, it benefited you, but it took a long time. The tires here tonight didn't seem like they mattered as much for a 3 or 4 lap run as they do at other places.
No, it didn't. Like, the car was really loose either way. I think I don't know what we had left, like 18 or 20 laps, and I knew it wasn't going to pay off really quick because my rights were still like 199, but I figured like 10, 15 laps in that it might, which seemed like what happened.
Well, it took a while to get it wound up, but once you did, you let it go, and the trajectory was 3rd position. Ryan Philbrick, anybody you want to shout out for tonight's performance?
Yeah, my teammates, Brandon Yates, Patrick McPeak, Bad Company, Motorsports, QSR, V-Speed, all the admins, all the drivers are coming out. That's about it.
Nicely done. Ryan Philbrick, appreciate your time, and congratulations. I believe this is the first top 3 this season.
And in the Gen 4, yeah. In the trucks, I've had a couple, but yeah.
That's as far as I know. I'm only
Okay.
as knowledgeable as I got. But hey, man, congrats on the other top 3s, and keep the momentum, buddy.
Awesome. Thank you.
Ryan Philbrick, 3rd position here tonight at Michigan. And that brings us to our 2nd place finisher, Galen Wunsch. And Galen, I got to say that you're probably a little frustrated that you weren't able to go up there and snag the lead away from Chuck Sweeting, but how great is it that
Doggone it.
you got back up there to your spot after coming down pit road on a little bit of a gamble?
I just wanted it's checkers or wreckers. I didn't want to take anybody else out. Like I said, I looked at the replay and with Dobbs, and I don't know if I'm gonna take take that one. It looked like I held my line pretty good, but I need to talk to him, man, because we can't be going through this every week.
Well,
But
Galen, I know that I'm supposed to remain as biased as possible here in the booth, but based off of my views, I looked at it several times. It looked like you guys just didn't have an inch to spare, and both of you just wiggled
no,
at the wrong time.
we don't give each other nothing. That's kind of what I think I'm gonna have to start giving. Unless we're gonna go through this every week. But yeah, I like to race for fun. I don't want any enemies, so I'll have to work it out with him. But yeah, I didn't think I'd have a shot at this track. I was like, dang, I almost got me a trophy. Doggone it.
You did. You started
I
out
was
here on the front row. It was close.
just another lap or two. Maybe I could have done something. But it was a tough fight making my way through some of those guys. They fought hard. It was fun though. I can't wait to watch the replay.
We go back and talk about the strategies and the long green flag pit stop, and you guys finished out that stage. It looked like a top 3 day for you, and then we reset the whole field there with about 15 or 16 to go. You elected to come down pit road, top off with fuel, get 4 fresh tires, and be on a whole different strategy than the rest of these guys. Did you feel like the tires, I noticed today the tires didn't matter quite as much with a 4 or 5 lap run as they do at other places, but did you genuinely feel like you could go up there and catch Chuck Sweeting in time?
No. No. I don't know how many laps he had on. I think he told me, or he only took rights, I think, to try and keep track position. So I think that was plus he had a little bit older tires. No, I think, yeah, because I came down a second time, you're right. And so I think I would have got him if I'd have had another lap or two, but only because he was on older tires, equal tires. He had the car.
I can tell you this, it was 3/10 a lap there in those closing laps that you were chasing him down, even after
Oh
passing
man,
Wyatt
yeah.
Walker. So you were definitely on the move.
I was getting nervous there. I saw him. I was like, hey. I was like, how hard do I push? I don't want to overdo it, but I don't want to give it up. Oh,
We don't want to leave anything on the table, but Galen, congratulations on the top 3. I know that this was a hard fought race, and you get back to where you started it. Anybody that you have to thank?
just all you guys, working with Ronnie and Venom and the whole group is fun. It's gotten in this group, I'm making some friends in this group and some enemies apparently. So, but it's fun. It's fun when you're competitive. I don't mind losing. I just want to kind of be there. It's tough when they're kicking your butt.
If I had to make a recommendation, it would be to have a paint scheme from the other Gordon. Maybe that's what you need to channel.
Jeff Gordon, yeah, you might be right.
Yeah, I don't know what else to tell you, man.
But
I mean,
believe it
you're
or not, I'm
fast
probably the
enough.
only guy that was fans of both, and they're like, "Yeah, you can't do that."
Yeah,
So,
that's
yeah, you
sacrilege,
can.
actually. Well, Galen, we appreciate your time, man, and we thank you. We'll see you next week.
Thanks, appreciate it.
Galen won 2nd place here today, and finally the luck changes for Chuck Sweeting. I don't know how many broadcasts it's taken to get you back in victory lane, Chuck, but I'm glad that you finally put it all together and dominant here today. 76 laps led. Here you are in victory lane. That green and purple number 75 was just a rocket ship tonight.
Thanks, man. Yeah, it was rolling pretty good tonight, especially on the longer runs. This is a competitive league, so that kind of surprised me a little bit. I expected Daniel to be up there and a few of the other guys to give me more of a run for it, but it wasn't as easy as it looked. But I think I was on my game that I just kept it nice and smooth and took care of the tires and had some good speed tonight. So I'm real happy with that.
Each run that you had the lead, it seemed like that fresh air, that clean air was taking that car places. You stretched the lead out to over a 1.5 seconds there in just the first stage of the race. did that kind of set the meter of how you wanted to push the car on those first 25 laps?
Yeah, absolutely. Clean air is definitely an advantage. I'm not really sure how much it affects these cars because these cars are such a wedge, but I know it does some, so it's definitely an advantage. But yeah, that and when we got that first stage, I looked at the tire wear. My right side tires were pretty even. The right rear had 1% more than wear than the right front, and so I kind of knew what to do the rest of the race. And then we had a few cautions thrown in there for just to mix things up a little bit, but avoided that wreck off of turn two and managed to bring it home in first tonight. So good night.
It was an excellent night, Chuck, and glad to see you back up here in the booth. Even if you get a top three, hell, if you just finish a race, Chuck, I mean, sometimes it seems like you start up front, you have a good race all the way up to 10 to go. I don't know what it is about having you on the V-Speed broadcast, but as soon as I mention your name, sometimes it seems like it just all goes downhill.
Yeah, maybe we've broken that curse tonight, and we can keep this momentum up and have some more conversations in the future.
I agree. Well, Chuck, anybody you want to shout out here while we have you in the booth?
Just thanks to the league admins for all the hard work they do. I know it's not easy for them, and appreciate you in the broadcast, and appreciate the fans for watching. Thanks to all the drivers for racing me with respect, and yeah, we'll look forward to the next one.
I hope you never get tired of hearing my voice because I hope to be talking to you more often. Chuck Sweeting, victorious here tonight from the Irish Hills. Congratulations.
Thanks, man. Have a good night.
With that, we conclude our coverage here today of the QSR Simulations Chase for the Cup. It was a fun one. Hope you guys enjoyed it as well. You can catch us next Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Schedule up on the screen. We're going to Rockingham. I know that sounds tough. Well, it gets even tougher the week after that. Darlington Raceway, the Lady in Black. I mean, this is going to be just a brutal schedule here for these final 4 weeks when you go to Rockingham, Darlington, Watkins Glen, and Bristol to finish off the regular season. Ah, man. Somebody knew what they were doing here. It's really going to test these guys. We wrapped it up here in Michigan. I agree with it, though. Clint Stewart, you're a genius. I hope everybody here in the admin booth enjoyed tonight's broadcast. And anybody out there watching, if you're not subscribed, I can tell you what, if you're not seeing our broadcast pop up, we broadcast on days that end with Y. And if you're not seeing new content from us, that's probably because the algorithm is cheating here on YouTube. So make sure you hit that subscribe button, turn on your notifications, and you'll never miss a single race here on V-Speed. We'll do it here for everybody at V-Speed, though. Adam Baker, Eddie Smith. Our producer list, it just keeps getting bigger. Christian Hill, Morgan Cook. This is Bradley Cooper telling you to have a great rest of your week. We'll see you Saturday for Saturday Night Racing League in the Challenger, 8 p.m. Until then, stay tracking, everybody.